Wellness Show, episode number 330.
Welcome to The Wellness Show, a podcast on health and wealth. I'm your host, Tyson Bannigan, the founder of the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy. Join me as we get the latest insight, tips, and strategies from wellness providers, coaches, and successful heart-centered entrepreneurs, and much, much more.
We are now live on Facebook. Good morning, everybody. This is Tyson Bannigan, and this is The Wellness Show, and I'm here with my one and only lovely co-host, Laura Cool. And we're here for you every single morning, Monday to Friday at this time, to answer all your questions around dowsing and energy healing and COVID-19 and planetary transformation and inner transformation. So thanks for joining us. Laura would like to talk about dreams. People are having dreams. So Laura, take it away.
They're having, what I'm finding that people are calling me or texting me about nightmares that they've been having as of late, processing. Right.
Yes, I can understand why. I think nightmares are a way of clearing not only this timeline, but other timelines. So think about it. If we're a multidimensional being, then how would we know when this timeline that we're clearing on another timeline if we didn't have a dream? The data bank for this spacesuit is our brain. So if we want to have this brain become multidimensional, then it has to be encoded with other multidimensional realities that we are experiencing. So I would think a dream would be a way to do that. And of course, the goal is always, well, I don't know if it's a goal, but it's certainly something I've worked on. I can't say as I'm highly successful, and that is lucid dreaming. Those are the dreams that are in full-blown technicolor, and without a doubt you're there. And my favorite one is when we're flying. Anybody have the experience of flying? So what I like about that is it gets really scary in the beginning because you're trying to move your arms and legs and they don't work in that dimension. So then you have to think, oh yeah, think up. So you think up and you go up, and you think down and you go down, and you think sideways, you go sideways. And it's so amazing because you're operating not by physically moving your body, but thinking your astral body or your other dimensional body. So that was really fun to learn.
I've not done that.
You're not done that? I'll put that on your order list. You just put it up to the cosmos and say, hey, I'd like to fly. Okay. And guess what? And then of course, breathing underwater is another cool one, right?
That I've done.
Yeah, that one is, you get so scared about it. And then all of a sudden you just can't hold anymore. You open up and oh my God, you can breathe underwater.
How did this happen?
What's that?
How did this happen?
Exactly. So so scary nightmares.
We have Linda here today. We have Eduardo and Oz and Tony, all of our regulars. If you guys have any dreams that you guys have been having, or nightmares, that you want to,
or even good dreams. I mean, we're not going to be, any dreaming, or any astral traveling, or any out-of-body experience, or, any alien abduction would count too, or,
right. I've had clients with that.
Yeah, or any past life remembrance. That's all, let's say that we live in a multi-dimensional world. So what is the evidence we have, or what are the messages? Sort of like messages in a bottle from other dimensions to us in this dimension. And, the more that I get into this or understand what's happening, we're in the midst of all of these timelines coming into harmony in our heart. So as we get more in our heart, then all of these different vibrational frequencies and timelines are all energies, and they start to nest together, like they become coherent, one within the other, and then they all collapse into your heart in zero. In zeros, what am I trying to say?
0 point.
0 point. That's what I'm trying to say. And then you have the memory of all of it, right? Because there is no separation in time or space. It's all one. So we're learning to do that. So the dreams and the nightmares and knowing about being in other dimensions and everything and past lives are all precursors of being fully aware and operating as a multidimensional being. Because if there is no time and space, that means all of the past lives and future lives are accessible to us as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
So
Cool, eh?
yeah, Oz has had a nightmare. Is it Oz? Would you like to talk to us, to like go on live, or do you just want me to read it? Let's see.
Well,
What
I'll allow her to talk. I'll allow her to and mute
Oh, unmute her?
and then
Okay.
they can decide whether they want to talk or not.
Okay.
Okay.
And
So you're
Oz,
all
you can
unmuted. So
unmute
if you want
yourself.
somebody wants to talk, like I'm talking over Laura and Laura's talking over me, then you can just talk.
Everybody just talk today.
All right, we're just gonna talk. Yes, yeah, a multi-dimensional reality, collapsing the timelines in your heart. And by the way, hopefully we're going to have time. And notice how careful I'm saying about hopefully we will have time on Friday when we do part 2 of the basic dowsing and energy healing, which is really going through the deep clearing protocol. And we only got to number 20. So we're going to continue on. But what we want to get to, and maybe we're going to have a Friday class every Friday. Maybe that's how it's going to happen, because there's so much cool material I'd love to talk about. But one of the things in that that you get as part of that is changing or transmuting the planetary timelines of control, which is really what we're talking about here, owning all these timelines. And this is a book that I met her and we did a presentation on this topic.
Shifting timelines.
Yeah, and Questers, which is a dowsing and energy healing group. And then I went back east and did it at the American Society Dowsing. I did a presentation on shifting the planetary timelines and control. So sort of like step 1 of is the deep clearing, is how do we clear ourselves, our personal power, and then collectively as a group, once we're clear, how do we then take back the power of humanity? So those are the stepping stones I'd like to take people through if they want to join me on this journey. And of course, the more people we can get onto that wavelength, so to speak, the quicker it can happen.
And all of my clients that took the class last Friday, they all came back to me and reached out to me and told me how wonderful it was, and they learned so much, and because we only got to 21 of the DCP on the deep cleaning protocol, they were asking, do you think that we could do all of them, because they learned so much. And so that's where the second class came in, not from Tyson and Laura saying, oh, let's do this. This is coming from the clients that are requesting this, and they aren't talking to one another. They were contacting me and Tyson individually, and that's how this came about. So if you guys are interested in taking the class, the first class is online on the Academy, and that's $44. And then the next one on Friday, I didn't write down,
is $44 as well.
$44 as well. Yep. And so you can keep going. We can keep going on through these classes. They are so informative. And
it says we're going to go to midnight, but Laura says she's not up to that. So we're only going to be doing it for 2 hours.
Yep, from 10 a.m. Pacific time to 12 p.m. Central time. Did I say that right?
No.
But in Central time, it'll be noon.
Why don't, yeah, I'm going to say noon,
sorry,
and then everybody can figure out what I'm talking about. NOON, right? Not AM or PM or
10 a.m. to noon.
People get confused. Well, it's not 12 at night or 12 in the morning, and it starts to get confusing for people.
That's why other country use the military time.
Yeah, well,
I did that in Brazil, and it drove me crazy.
All right,
like,
I
what
don't know
time
about
is it?
military time, but yeah, because it is confusing. Okay, so
Yeah, they don't use AM.
I'm just saying noon. How about noon?
Okay.
Okay.
noon Central Time, but 10
No,
a.m.
noon Pacific time. 1 p.m. Central time. It's 10 to 11, 11 to 12 for us here in Pacific. So you're 1 hour later.
What time are you starting it in Pacific time?
Yeah, always. I live here.
No, I know. What time are you starting it? Oh my God, I'm so confused right now.
It's
Okay.
Pacific time.
Okay.
I'm very specific.
You just let me know when to be there, okay, Ty?
Yeah, okay. It's 10 a.m. Pacific, which will be 11 for you.
No, I'm 2 hours difference from
Oh,
you.
okay, then it's noon for you. N-O-N-N.
Noon to 2. But Oz has unmuted herself. So do you think
Right.
maybe she wants to talk about her dream?
Yeah. Earth to Oz, come in, please. Earth to Oz, come in,
Got
please.
tired of listening to our bantering.
Right. Trying to figure out what time it is on the planet.
So I just want to let everyone know who's joined us since we're talking about nightmares. That there's been a lot of nightmares, bad dreams going on lately. And if you'd like Tyson and I to talk about them, you can call in at the number behind his head, which is 866-369-7464. His head is in the way today, but that's okay.
Right there.
Or you can, of course, post it on our Facebook chat. Yeah. Or you can also call into Zoom or go into Zoom and join our group and do what Oz is doing, which is be online.
And internationally, you can come on through a WhatsApp, and it's 1-250-803-2480. So you can phone internationally to the show as well. This is interesting for me because it's the reverse. So if I go to point my finger, I have to figure out which side of, well, anyway. And I tried to come home this morning looking, and I have to say I was really, what would I say? I was really judged by my mirror. I couldn't get it right. Like, which hand is doing what, right? It's like,
you doing that because you didn't know I was on yet, and I'm like, I'm gonna let him primp.
yeah.
Your hair's getting long though. This COVID.
Yeah, I gotta get it cut. I gotta get it cut. I mean, actually, you know, when I was a long-haired hippie, that's how I loved my long hair, because I could get some beautiful lady to braid it right every morning.
Oh, touch your head.
So good. How
Yeah,
that long hair braided right down the back, right down to my butt. I loved it.
You had hair down your
Those
butt?
times have changed now.
You had hair down your butt? Seriously?
Right, yeah, well, down the middle of my back, and it was flaming red.
Wow. I'd like to see a picture of that.
I'll show you big. Yeah, and a big red beard. I looked like I just got off a Viking ship.
Wow, I bet. Yeah. Oh, that's
Eric
cool.
the Red.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm just
nobody wants to talk about their dreams. Oz, you can talk now if you want to say about what was happening with you in a nightmare.
She said, I don't want to talk about the nightmare right now, trying to get the effect off me with the shower.
Okay.
So it must have really, she said her Zoom crashed. She had a nightmare about being cheated on. And what do you think about the possible blackout that was some anonymous insiders are talking about?
What's that?
There's
the
people are starting to say that that the blackout's going to happen, or our internet, everything's going to shut down for a few days.
Yeah, I would be ready for that. Like today, we have a run to town, and Michael and Darlene and Louie the dog and Tyson and Sarah and Josie the cat are all in one house here. It's raining out, and we have Wayne downstairs, and then we have Alex over in the cottage. So that's our family, our extended family. Alex has decided she wants to be totally separate in her cottage so that she's protected that way. So we're not doing things for her. She's doing it on her own. But for the rest of us, there's only two going to town to do the shopping today. And one of the things is we are getting more gas for our generator, because that's what operates our well, right? And gives us a little bit of power to do this. And we have enough fuel for a camp stove to cook, and we have a fire pit, and we're in the midst of planting our garden. So yeah, I think it's very, very important. If any of that's true, it will be down. It could be for up to a week or longer. So yeah, I don't think it hurts. They've been saying, those that have been thinking this way have been saying for years and years, be prepared for at least, 2 weeks to a month's worth of food and supplies. So, why has that been in the consciousness of humanity for the last few years, right? So now's the time. And, think about it. If we need to do a planetary reset, then we're going to have a planetary reset. I love the cartoon, the picture of a God pointing his finger down to Michelangelo. Well, God's pointing his finger down to Earth, and it has a big button on it that says reset, right? So
yeah, and I promise you, we'll all be okay. Even if we didn't have food for 2 weeks, we'd still be okay, as long as we have water.
yeah, the thing is to stay out of fear. I mean, this whole thing is what, if COVID-19 is a living entity, which it is, what is it trying to tell us? And one of the things is that your immune system will be repressed if you keep staying in fear, and your immune system will be repressed if you don't drink enough water, and your immune system will be repressed if you keep on eating fast food, and your immune system will be repressed if you keep being stressed out and going to work and doing all the crazy things that you were doing to make a livelihood. And so it is like the COVID-19 virus is saying, on behalf of Mother Earth, all right, let's bring her to a screeching halt, right? Not just nationwide, planetary wise. Let's put everybody at home, let them meet their family for the first time, let them have dinner together, let them have conversation. And, way we're doing community and socializing is through the internet right now. If the internet goes down, then we have to even become closer to our family, right? And everything begins with our family. I mean, we incarnated with our family, and our biggest tests are with our family. I mean, I don't know about you, but if you want your buttons to be pushed, be around family. That's where you really work things out, because there's very little social barriers that you put up between you and your loved ones. It's sort of being naked 24/7, 365. Sort of the worst of the worst comes out of you because you feel safe to do that. So it's really your family that processes the deeper emotions. And for those that are going through divorces, and lots are going through divorces now, it's that, that divorce is because that deeper work was just too overwhelming and scary to do. And unfortunately, you didn't have somebody to help you through the process so you could sort it all out. So, yeah. So one of my clients is, we talked about, she's on her second ex and he just left. So we want to go after the underlying root cause of where's the wound, what needs to be healed, so that she can have her next relationship will be clear and clean. So yeah, so this is all the time of, this is like the planetary cleanup and going inwardly and clearing all the viruses, which are thought forms. Our viruses are thought forms, are repetitive thought forms that run like in our monkey brain. And when we get triggered because of some trauma, we run that same program over and over and over again. And our job, Laura and my job and Tony's job, is to help you stop that repetitive pattern, help you realize that you can heal yourself from that cycle and become a sovereign human being. And then your immune system comes up, because you're not spending all your energy trying to figure things out or solve things or be angry at things or whatever. You just have more energy just to be you, right? And then your body just relaxes.
And
come up.
I just did a couple right before the quarantine. And it was really eye-opening for them, because it was, if you're in your house and you're there all the time, you stop noticing that, oh, there's dust up in the corner. Sometimes you need just some new eyes. And so coming in and just simply pointing out very, very, very easily fixed situations between the two of them. They both walked out with like a full breath of fresh air, feeling like it would be well worth them to stay together and to work through this. They had new insight, new ways of doing it. They walked out holding hands. I could feel the love between the two of them again. It was beautiful. And sometimes when you think all is lost, it's really not. It's just a molehill that you made into a mountain. And
Right.
because you just can't see a way out. But you're only thinking about yourself too, right? Over and over and over and what's wrong. And they're thinking about over and over and over what's wrong. And you guys forget to think about what's right.
Yeah, and the other part of that is, I have worked with Justice Department taking a certificate in conflict resolution and mediation. Part of it's family mediation, and one of the big things is we don't hear each other.
Right.
I mean, Laura and I had a little conversation with each other, so we don't pay attention. Like, we talk over each other. So can you imagine a relationship with Laura and I, blah, 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 and we wouldn't hear each other for like maybe a couple of minutes until we realized that we were talking over each other. So taking that time to have somebody facilitate that discussion, one of the techniques is you just have one person talk to the other with no interruptions, and then that person has to repeat back, what did that person tell you? And it takes a long time because we're so used to interrupting that. Yes, but. And therefore, when we're saying the but, we're not hearing what they're actually saying.
Mm-hmm.
And having to repeat back what that person is saying is really quite difficult. Very difficult.
But profound. That's a really good point. Because Oz is saying, what if you are having problems with your family right now? Like, what are the things that we could give them to do right now? Because we are all like compacted together. There's nowhere to go.
Well, the thing is, if you're the dominant energy, and I mean that in a good way, then you set the whole vibrational frequency. So, somebody like Oz is the dominant frequency in her house. So if she can manage her own energy in the midst of chaos, then everything else will settle around her.
Mm-hmm.
But if she loses it for whatever reason, and we have to we have to give ourselves space to lose it every once in a while as we learn how to manage this really tight energy, then she's the one that rectifies it. So everybody will attune to her. So the most important thing is, if you clear yourself, you're going to clear your family.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And it's not the words that you say to them. I don't know about you, but if you're talking to a teenager about how they need to clean up their room or change what they're doing. I mean, my partner says to me, did you do this? And I go, like I got way too much to do. Already up and off my roost, flapping my wings. And all she did was ask a simple thing, right? So we can take things way too personally. So the thing is to take a step back and get in your heart before you even respond. And that's a difficult one, because we want to go, like, if you could take a breath, or even one breath would be great, but if you could take 3 breaths, and pause and then respond, you'll be in your heart, and it will be completely different than flying off the handle. So this is, if the COVID-19 has a voice, it says, all right, go home, stay home, and work with your family. And the fundamental principles of Confucianism, Confucius is filial piety, which is how to get along with your family. He says that's the root of civilization. If you can't get along with your family, you can't get along with anybody else, because that's really where the test is.
Sandie Young has her hand up, and Oz has asked a question too.
All right, go for it.
You want which one?
Anyone.
Okay, so Oz says, I was feeling all the fear and anger going on in the world for the last few days, and I didn't want them around me. I sent them to his house. I'm assuming her children to her.
Yeah, that's her children, yeah.
Okay.
And her ex, she's working through all of that. And so she sent them.
Yeah.
Well, that's good. Congratulations for that, because when you're stable, and the kids come back, you can bring them up to the next level. And even if they go to dad, the fact is that they'll be able to hold it longer, assuming that dad's going through his crisis as well. So yeah, even in this situation where you're not in the same house and moving the kids back and forth, but do be aware, moving them between families, you need to be really hyper vigilant about having them wash hands and washing things down from one house to the other, right? Opposed to the household to the other. You really do need to do the precautions, right?
Yeah.
Because in essence, in one level, you shouldn't be doing that. So if you do it, and I was saying don't do it, be hyper vigilant about how you do all what you need to do, like washing your hands and washing the clothes between houses and washing down the doorknobs and all those sorts of things that they touch coming in. I would even suggest that they have a bath or a shower once they come home. So I'd just be really vigilant. They're your kids, you love them, take care of them. And even if you're over the top, who cares? At least they're clean and bright and shiny.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with a clean kid.
No.
So now Sandie, she want to chat? I think you got to unmute her.
No, she is unmuted.
Oh,
She's got her own self. I'll just say do it again. There she is. Oh, there's Sandy.
hi, Sandie.
Hello. Now it says mute.
No, you're talking and we can hear you.
Yep.
Oh, you can? All right.
Yeah, you're live right now on the show.
Did you have any idea of those numbers I sent you?
No, I'm sorry, but what numbers were they?
Laura knows what I'm talking about. I emailed them to her.
Oh, good. I'm off the hook.
Oh,
Laura, what numbers were
oh. Yes, she sent some the Radionics
information for coronavirus.
and some other things as well.
Yes, and other things as well. And if you could just, all my family and friends have all those numbers on a piece of paper and putting the paper on their body so they're covered with the protection. I douse those every day too, and it stays nice and powerful. So
Okay, wonderful.
if I've started this in January when I first got the information on it and looked up the rest of them, and very few people paid any attention to me at that time, and now they're all hollering, why didn't you make me realize how important it was? And I said I wouldn't have sent them if I didn't think they were important. So
great. So what sort of number? So do you have the numbers there, Laura?
I have the numbers.
I do not.
All right.
I believe, didn't you put them in the webinar?
Yes.
Webinar chat?
Right.
Yeah. Once the webinar or once Zoom stops, I can't get that chat anymore.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. You didn't know. I didn't know I couldn't get it again.
Well,
yeah, so are you going to put them? You can put them in this time, and I'll make sure that we're recording now. So
well, I can tell you. I can tell you what they are if you want them.
Well, it'd be better if you type them in too, because then they'll be in the chat.
I don't have any place to type on this thing.
Yeah, you do. Oh, well, maybe you don't. Okay. All right. So what are the numbers?
Coronavirus numbers that protect you from that. It actually stops it. Is 4986489.
Okay. So can you?
There's another one that goes with it.
Yeah.
And this is a separate number, but both of them are important. 4874898.
All right, let me just go back. The first one's 4986489.
Yes.
And the second one is 4874898.
Correct.
Now, do you mind if I douse about them?
Not at all. And then there's a catastrophe prevention number that's listed like a telephone number, the separation in between numbers, groups.
Okay.
So that one is, and that catastrophe is for anything like what we're going through now, as well as tornado, hurricane, tsunami, any of those type of things.
And what does it do?
It is the prevention for you to get involved in it. It protects you from it.
Okay.
These are vibrational frequencies.
Yeah, I understand. They're radionics, right?
Yes.
Numbers? Yeah. So
That number is 971
okay.
391
Okay.
817. But you keep a space in between each of the three numbers.
I gotcha. So 971 space 391 space 817. Yep. Okay.
Maybe that's the phone number to God.
Well,
Hello.
Hello.
that's,
Hey, upstairs, could you straighten this mess up? The
I
answer
have
would
that.
be- And the answer would be,
I have
"Well,
that
how are you guys
right
doing
here.
downstairs?
I've got the divine protection 8888.
Okay.
Okay. So how did they douse out, honey?
So one is 888, the 3 8s,
4 8s.
4 8s. Well, the dog agrees.
Oh, yes. Cynthia,
I'm
somebody
protecting
must
you
be
from the
outside.
world.
The dogs like to bark.
All
All
right.
right, there's two more in here.
All right.
Actually,
Let's see let me deal with what we got.
okay.
All right. So coronavirus and 4986489. Come in, please. All right. So the efficacy of those numbers for coronavirus. Not bad. It's about let me just check it out. So 71, 72, 73, 74, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79. So about 79. So, putting on a radionics machine and broadcasting that, certainly 79 is a nice number and it's up there. So that's good. So let's do the second one. So this is 48748978. So the efficacy of those numbers on a scale of 0 to 100 is about the same, but let me just dulse it out. 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, 80, 81, 82. So that's a little bit more
Yeah, I got
powerful,
82.
but that's good too. So,
But they have to go together because they're a combination just for the coronavirus protection.
okay. Well, then let me just see if I put them together on a scale of 0 to 100, together they do equal 100%. So congratulations. Now we have to talk to people what we mean by all this. So we'll come back to that and talk about, or do you want to talk about that right now, Laura? Do you want to talk about what does it mean to have protection from coronavirus by using radionics?
I think that now is a good time.
Yeah, so what would you
Most
say
people
about
have heard it, but it never hurts to go over it again.
Yeah, so what would you say about that? How would you do? I mean, you do radionics, so what would you
I
do?
do. So what it does is if you put it on a machine where you can broadcast it out and you can choose people that you want to broadcast it out. Let's say your mom and your dad and your brother, sister, and your grandmother, and you put them on the broadcast out, then they'll receive this vibration of 4986489 and 48748. And that vibration will keep them at that level. So then the coronavirus, if it comes near you, will literally just vibrate right off of your bioenergy field.
Well,
So
what I have suggested is that they put these papers or pieces, oh, well, I can't talk this morning. They put these numbers on a piece of paper, put
Okay.
it in a little baggie or laminate it and put it on your body with a little medical tape. I have a grandson that's in the service in the bad area where they've got the whole country's locked down. and he has this on him, and he said he's about the only one in the group that isn't having any problems.
Nice.
He won't leave it. He won't leave it off. He said that's important. And the Sangiovese water, tonic water, is also has prayer. What did they call that now? Prayer card, I guess.
Yeah,
in
it's radionics as well.
Yes, it is. And it also protects against the coronavirus as well as every other kind of disease. So these are things that I have been having my people and my friends and my clients and everything doing. And there isn't one of them that has had any problem yet at all.
Yeah, I would still encourage them to do the deep clearing protocol.
Oh, I
raise-
do.
And raise their vibrational energy.
Most of them I have in it while I'm doing it.
Very good. The other thing I just doused, is this good just for you or your family? I got the community. It's good for your community. It's good for your region, and it's good for the planet. So on your broadcasting machine, which can be a paper radionics machine, you can broadcast it globally, and everybody.
I have.
Well, I'm just telling everybody on the show
Oh, yes,
that this is you can do it at each level, right?
yes.
All the way up. So, and it might be good to do that as circles of influence. Like say, I'm broadcasting to my family, to my community, to my region, to my state, to my country, to the globe, right?
Correct.
To humanity.
People are saying thank you for sharing that, Sandy. Just wanted you to know, and that they're appreciating you right now on Facebook. So
I'm just going to check the divine protection one. Where did you get that one from, Sandy? Where did that come from?
That's from Ludi Larson.
Okay, that's a really good one too. So that's 100%. So
There's also one for Love and Light.
well, let's just hang on there. I'm still catching up to you, sir. I'm going to do with the catastrophe. Now, according to the Tao, and well, many belief systems that have to do, and let's not say belief systems. Let's say already all the way from the Upanishads, which are one of the ancient teachings coming from India. It's always been said that humanity creates the world that they live in. In other words, what we see around us is literally the manifestation of the elemental energies, the reality, like we are literally building a stage in which we get to play this all out, everything, right? So all the trees, the plants, everything showed up for us to play through this scenario of light and dark, or yin and yang, or the world of polarity to come into consciousness. So it's a game. It's like a video game, a real video game that we're playing, and that souls are playing that have never experienced separation or polarity. So in playing this game, there are certain consequences of how we play it. And one of the things that we want to help people understand is that you can get off the chessboard of light and dark and not play the game anymore. So what I mean by that is you're in the world, but not of the world. So you're becoming, in Buddhism, they talk about becoming the detached observer, where it's not that you don't love what's happening or have compassion for what's happening, but you're not overwhelmed by it. And that's where we want to help you get to, is that you see this all unfolding. You have compassion for the suffering of all of humanity as they go through this, but you're not overwhelmed by it. You can stay in your heart, because the more you stay in the heart and broadcast these numbers, the more influence you have, because you yourself have created a safe zone. It's sort of like the Buddha has gone to his cave. It's like you become the Buddha going into your heart cave. And from there, then you broadcast these numbers out. Then you are at the stage of not being caught up in the trauma around you. And now you're safe. And when you help other people do it, they become safe. It's really what, the highest message of the coronavirus would be just that to humanity, is get in your heart. Get out of your brain. Stop running around on this planet thinking you know how to make Mother Nature do what you want it to do, because she's not going to do it anymore. She's pissed off at humans. She doesn't want to be pushed around, abused, sexually raped, tortured, and mutilated. She wants to have reverence and respect. She's willing to give you everything that you could ever want and even more. She's even willing to give you the Garden of Eden. But you have to have some reverence, you have to have some appreciation, you have to ask politely, and you have to have gratitude for what she's already given you. Then we have this reciprocal relationship with our Divine Mother.
Yes.
And, you know, and again, it goes back to family. I mean, if we don't have the right relationship with our mother in our family, how can we have the right relationship with the Divine Mother and with Mother Earth? So once we do that, then we create this new reality, this new earth, this new way of being, right in the midst of all this chaos. And so that's what we're trying to help people do. And when we do that, we talked about shifting timelines and collapsing timelines like this into the now moment, because all of those scary dreams and all of those past lives and all of those ways in which we've had to sacrifice our body trying to bring consciousness onto this planet all come into this moment, and we realize why we did what we did in order to get this point. And we can then take it all into, resolve it all in our heart in forgiveness for ourselves and for humanity, and come from that detached observer. So hopefully that made some sense. So thank you. I love that. Catastrophes, like I was saying, is the collective unconsciousness of humanity that needs to be expressed through Mother Earth, whether it be in volcanic eruptions or the San Andreas fault, you know, giving way and
Right.
LA disappearing into the sea, or you know, whatever the catastrophe is, all because of the collective consciousness of humanity. So our job is to raise the consciousness of humanity so we don't need to go through these major catastrophes. And of course, the goal is, and what we're taught through Confucius is, we are going to create heaven on earth. Not that we are going to heaven, we're creating heaven on earth. And that's what Divine Mother has said. That's what is a promise of the Buddha, of Milu, the Buddha, the one, the big happy one with the big belly, the one that's coming. He said, I will come and help you in humanity when you achieve this harmony, which is basically world peace. And look at what's happening with the COVID virus. We're learning how that it isn't just a Chinese virus or a Wuhan virus. This is a global virus. And I was so, I really love the fact that China is sending all this safety equipment to United States. Of course, they're saying, well, we have to check it all and make sure it's superior enough and good enough for us to use. But you know, in the midst of all this, you know, one nation is saying we just went through this crisis. Hopefully we're out on the other end. I don't know whether they are or not, time will tell, but sending all the equipment to the US and to the epicenters of where this happened. We are a global community. All of those boundaries between us are all man-made. And if I had a big enough rubber eraser, I'd erase them all. You know, there's a lovely little painting of a little boy looking at the globe, and he's rolling up the string, and the string is all the boundaries between all the nations, and he's sitting there rolling the ball up, right, taking all of the boundaries off the globe. I love that idea. So shifting timelines. So I don't know, was there any more comments about scary dreams and as we clear ourselves?
Let's, yeah, I think that there, no.
No? So Laura, what was some of the things that your clients were telling you?
So lots of just bad dreams, like
Yeah.
Processing through, I believe, all of the fear and anxiety and pressure that's been going on, and just talking them through it and helping them realize what it is. Lots of violence in the dreams too.
Right.
Again, processing through all of those fears, I believe. And I've come to this like amazing place, have you, where I feel very, very peaceful. or you, Ty?
Yeah, I think I'm so fortunate that the divine is like, oh, I'm almost, I can't even find the words, but when Michael and Darlene arrived, they arrived with a brand new van, Dodge van, that a friend back east who uses crystal bowls and does concerts with them. It's her van, and they needed to move it from where it was because all of her bowls and all of her instruments were stored in a house, and he wanted to rent it. So Darlene and Michael agreed to take her van and put it in a safe place. So they brought it here. So now there's a brand new van here that's insured. And we have the kitchen table is full of crystal bowls that we get to play every evening. And there's instruments that I don't even know what they are. 2 keyboards and all these instruments under my bed because there's no room for them. There must be over $10,000+ worth of instruments that have arrived here. So one of the things we want to do is do a concert with the bowls and broadcast
live, right? Live,
yeah.
See it?
And then on his way, he stopped off at our friend's place, who is an expert on open pollinated seeds and has a seed bank, who has collected all these seeds from our community. And there's a seed swap that we just had. And of course, we can't have any more. So he stopped off there, and we have 54 different varieties of open pollinated seeds to start our garden. And so we're very, very fortunate. It's just like, all right, you guys want to be safe and we want to help community. Here you are. And then I think I said on the last show, our friend, and you know who I'm talking about, I can't remember his name off the top. He was in our dowsing and energy healing
Class.
Class from England. Remember his name?
Oh, Mike, yeah.
He's phoned me up and said, we've just got our machine certified in the UK, and they're ordering hundreds of them for because it's helping with the breathing with COVID-19. And we're really, really busy, but they're being produced in Canada, and you're doing such important work with so many people. I'm having him send you a machine which is worth $3,000. So that's arriving. So we'll be able to, those that are in crisis, to be able to make that available to them. And then my buddy down the road, she just got back from swimming with the dolphins, and they're in a lockdown 14-day quarantine. But he has an EMF mat, so I traded him a jiggler, which is a vibration machine, for an EMF mat for the duration. So now we have EMF mat to lie on to. I mean, we are so blessed, and I want everybody else to be blessed. So I would love everybody to create a gains book. This is my, you can call it a manifestation, but this is my gains book. And I tell you, this works. Here's the pretty picture. And if you want me to post you, this is from my coach, I can send you this pretty picture. I like it. So I glued it in the front of my journal, right? Okay.
Nice.
And then in here is everything that's happening. Everything that is a blessing, you put in here, all right? And then I, just to remind myself in the dollars and cents, because we're still in that type of value system, right? I put in green, underlined all of what's coming in. And I even have all my debts in here, because the debt is not a debt. I was so fortunate that I was able to spend that money on a credit card to get me to where I am. So I want to bless that too. So that's in there as well, right?
Awesome.
And then there's a little sign up here that says, let's see, money is nothing but the measure of the value I create for other people, right?
Awesome.
So this is a way of honoring all of that divine flow and thanking Divine Mother or Source or all that is, or God, for this divine flow. And this is what COVID-19 said. If you could wake up and understand that nobody needs to go anywhere or do anything, that you can support each other by exchanging what you need and taking care of each other's community, I will help you create heaven on earth. That's the agreement. So why not help have heaven on earth in your backyard? Why not start at your house and watch this grow out into the community.
And here we have some clients. Sarah Brown Dunlap said, become the detached observer. Stay in your heart and broadcast the numbers, respect Mother Nature, heal family relationships, shifting timelines into the now, forgiveness, raise the consciousness of humanity. Thanks. And then Wendy Raymond says, me too, I feel peaceful. And Lewis Peterson says, his wife had the vision of Lord Jesus spreading light with crystals on both hands.
Yes.
Beautiful.
So, you know, the picture, I always saw this picture, the Catholic picture, and I always thought, that's really cheesy art, you know, the one of Jesus with his heart open and there's golden rays coming out of his chest in his heart. I just, in the last couple of weeks, understood, no, Jesus is saying, what I can do, you can do, and even more. Open your heart. Let the golden light come from your heart. Dwell in your heart, and you become one with all that is. That's what he was telling us. We're not, you know, it's not that we're asking Jesus to make this all right for us. He's saying, you become me. I'm showing you what it is to be a Christed human being. Step into that reality. Open your heart like I'm showing you. Open your breast. Open it to the world, right? Don't be like this and scared. Open your chest. Open it. It's, you know, and the thing is, when you do that, it starts to hurt in the beginning because we're so used to our hearts being like this, like, ooh, this is a competitive world. I have to protect myself. Oh, you know, and we get all stressed out. But this is saying, no, be brave. Open it up. Open it up. Open up. And it's like the muscles get stretched for the first time, and it starts to hurt. Well, go through it, right?
Yeah.
In one of the Rosicrucian and mystical schools, they have this picture of the pelican taking flesh from her heart and feeding her young. And while it seems to be gross, what they're saying is it's the love of the mother pelican, right, that feeds her young. It's not the flesh of the animal or whatever. It's her love that's really
Giving of self, right?
Yeah. So that's what these mystical orders are trying to teach you. Come from your heart, come from your heart, come from your heart, because your mind's going to go crazy here. There's too much. Like if you get into the conspiracy theory, like I was doing this weekend, you're down so many rabbit holes, right? And rabbit warrens, and it's scary stuff. You know, if even 10% of that is, we're screwed if you go that way, right? But that's your head trying to say, oh, I'm going to figure this out. No, you're not.
It's too
No,
big.
you're not. We have no idea. Surrender. Get in your heart. Be the Buddha in the cave of your own heart. Be the Christed being enlightened in that halo of light. Let it expand through. And you'll find that when you do that, the channel comes from your high heart. And all of a sudden, your third eye opens up. And then it's like somebody, you know, like in those observatories when they have the telescope, the top of the observatory opens up like this. And then you see the stars. That's what happens in your skull. It's like your whole skull starts to open up like an observatory, and you start to see the stars. And you say, oh yeah, I'm one with the stars. I'm one with everything. And now the top of your brain, your crown chakra is open like the multi-petaled lotus for you to give and receive. It's cool. Do it. Never mind the scary nightmares. Let's have some fun. Yeah.
Well, I think the scary nightmares are clearing out.
Yeah, they are.
That isn't working for us anymore to allow that light in.
Yeah, it's like that. I gotta be crude. It's like having a big cosmic crap.
I had the scary dreams, and now I feel so peaceful.
Yeah.
I don't feel
repress
the
them.
fear and the anger and the frustration anymore.
Yeah, don't try and repress them. Let them come and heal them and bless them and do Ho'oponopono or put them in. And if they involve somebody else, put them in a court of atonement. But yeah, work through them. It's like, I said something crude and you missed it, but I just said it's like this big cosmic dump, right? That's really what it is, right? We got to get this out. Like all of this trauma is in the fibers, the neural network of our body. Like every time we didn't allow the motion to be released from our body, it's trapped in our body. So we have to let it go somehow. And of course, the really difficult way of doing it is through disease and disorder, right? And becoming violently ill. And COVID-19 is the ultimate thing, Grim
Mhm.
Reaper that says, oh, you want off this planet? I'll take you off this planet, right? That's what it's doing. It's giving you the opportunity to go off this planet very quickly. And
Right.
there's nothing wrong with that. It just means you graduated. You're done.
And you get to go home.
You just go home. Right. And it may be the right time for you to go home. It may be done. I can't make that judgment. Maybe this is the way to say, hey, enough of this. I got this. I'm out of here. You're going to catch the next bus,
Lewis Peterson says, Christ is a state of consciousness. Totally agree. We are able to raise our vibration and become the Christ that is within all of us.
Absolutely.
I agree. Thank you, Lewis.
Yeah. Thank you, Liz.
Yeah. This has been a really calm show. I feel like it took a different turn. I thought we were going to talk about nightmares and stuff. And here we are talking about peacefulness and coming from your heart and just flowing, going with the flow. It's beautiful.
But you're absolutely right. We have to start with the scary stuff and let it pass through our bodies, right?
Yeah.
And even though the watching the news and everything, it's not that you turn your TV off and if you want to, and handle it that way by saying, no, I don't want to know about what's out there.
Sure.
The other way of saying it's a two-way channel. My TV is a two-way channel. So when I see what's happening in Spain, I can bless everybody there, right?
Yeah.
I can send you these radionic numbers. I can ease their pain. And I can be the Buddha who has compassion for all humanity, who wants everybody to become the Buddha, wants everybody to remember that they are already enlightened. Everybody on this planet is enlightened. The only reason people don't know they're enlightened because they're in their own way. So if we can help people get out of, or another way of saying it, we are all the Christed beings, right? We are all the Christed beings. It's just that we are in the way of us knowing that. So if we can help people get out of the way, and the way we do that is by blessing and having compassion for what every human being is going through and all that suffering. And when we do that, we transmute it.
Right.
We transmute it. So what I'm saying is the newscast can be your opportunity to do the transmutation and do the Ho'oponopono, or put it all into a cord of atonement, or use whatever techniques that you have at your hand, like radionics broadcasting, to do your bit to change all that fear into blessings, right? We are truly blessed at this opportunity because we are never going to be the same again. Thank goodness.
Yeah.
A brand new world.
Can I ask something from you?
Sure.
My brother-in-law is having stomach issues right now. He's got it shortened intestines. Think we could do a healing for him?
Sure. Yeah.
A clearing or whatnot?
Yeah. If you got a shortened intestine, why was it shortened?
He had an illness, and so they shortened it, and now he has a colostomy bag, and it's not working right now very well.
Okay, well then what I'm getting right off the top is then energetically reattach it to an energetic colon.
Oh, he did that with his ankle too.
Yeah. So look, the divine blueprint is already there, right? So use the divine blueprint.
Okay.
So one of the things that I like to do with a client is say with him is, okay, I mean, if we can operate on the physical body, why can't we operate on the other dimensional body? So
yeah, he'll totally get this. Thank you. He'll totally get this. Thank you.
Yeah. So why don't we detach what isn't working, take it up to the fifth dimension, take the blueprint of the original, take that and then put it back into the body, right? So now energetically that is running as it always would be, even though on the physical plane it may look completely different. All the energetics of that will be operating 100%, and then everything will clear up. But the most important thing, what was the trauma behind the need for the operation in the first place? Like these are somewhat band-aid solution. It's like playing doctor, right? And I love doctors. I was watching them do transplant, heart transplant, and organ transplant, I was so amazed, like
Yeah.
13, 14 hours in the operating room helping save people's lives. I was so fascinated. Bless you, all your doctors, for that. But what we're
Yes.
talking about is not creating organs or transplanting organs, or even going to the divine blueprint of the human being and restructuring an organ, or doing we're actually doing an energetic transplant, is what I just described. We
That's
want to go, and that we want to do that to give us time, but we want to go behind that and go, why did the person not be able to have the stomach for what was showing up in their life? Why couldn't they stomach it, right?
Mhm.
And what is that all about? Because if we can get to the root cause, the body will start to heal very, very rapidly. It's just the body saying, hey, you're not paying attention to me. Just like Mother Earth said, hey, you guys aren't paying attention to me.
Yeah.
And if you consist on not paying attention to me, I've already done volcanoes, and I've already done earthquakes, and I even have crazy people running around with guns. What more do you want? Oh, you don't get it. Okay,
Hey,
let me see if we can wake you up with a COVID-19. Oh, now I've got your attention. You're now all in your home. So now people can maybe question, oh, was that really what I wanted to do with my life? Anyway.
that's very insightful on the whole level. So I'm going to just read a couple things.
All right, go for it.
Wendy Raymond says, thank you guys for doing the show each morning. It's been so helpful, and you two make me smile. Thanks, Wendy. And then Lewis says, the disconnect from the heart, the mind ego, is how we've been enslaved. The heart is so powerful. And if we can remove the heart walls blocking us from expressing that power, the sky is the limit.
Yeah.
Wow, Lewis, you're on a roll here today.
Yeah,
Awesome.
he's doing it. He's doing it.
Yeah.
And he's doing a lot of family clearing. So go, Lewis, go, Lewis, go, Lewis, go. Yeah, a lot of my, like, think of heart math, right? And the walls. I don't know if you've ever done heart math, but they talk about
Mhm.
looking at the walls that we have, and there's actually physical descriptions of the type of walls. Like some are bamboo and more flexible, some are made of steel, but we've walled in our hearts to protect ourselves. So when you do that therapy that way, you're looking at removing the walls, which remind me, Laurel, we should do some advanced work on that. There's a lady named Sandie who has a quick form to do removing those walls in the heart. So
Ooh, let's do that.
yeah, her name is Sandie. So remind me and I'll teach you how to do that.
Okay.
Okay, so it's really quite simple. I don't have time to do this, but I think I'm committing to teaching every Friday a 2-hour class is what I'm thinking of. So we'll see how this next one goes, but there's so much I'd like to get out to help everybody get in their heart, right? That I'd love to keep teaching. If people want to show up, I'll keep teaching. And then it'll also allow me to point them in other courses that might be good stepping stones as well.
So we have Linda Booney has said, hi, Tyson, you and Laura's show number 322 was not on your page. Could you please repost? Thank you.
Yeah, we had a trouble with that 322 in the Facebook booted us off. And apparently when I downloaded, there's only 5 seconds. So there's some prayer or something I did, Laura. I don't know if you can remember what it is.
Oh, that one? They booted us.
Wow, that booted us off. So if
I
we
thought
can,
we redid it.
yeah, we did. Well, I don't know if we redid it. I think we said, we have this first part. So we already did that. And I think we carried on. And whatever that first part, I think it was a poem or something I was reading. So if you can figure that out, go back to that. As soon as we can figure that out, then we'll produce the show and get it up. So thank you for reminding us, because my video guy told me today, hey, said, are we done? Are we up to date? And which means I have to go back and now post all of those to LinkedIn and post them all to also to
YouTube,
Twitter, and they're already up on YouTube. All of them are up to date on YouTube for everybody. So all the edited shows are on YouTube.
Oh, Linda,
channel.
then you can get it on YouTube.
Yeah, and please, we're at 976 or something. And I'd love to get us at 1,000, because at 1,000 we can start to monetize it. And monetizing means that we would be able to run ads on it. I hate having ads on it, but maybe we can then negotiate with people to say, well, we won't put any ads on it if you help make a donation on monthly. We won't have to do ads. But it would really, really help, because the back end of supporting these shows is fairly expensive. I've hired somebody to do it. He's a good friend. He's living at my place now as we are going through this sequestering time. And I don't mind doing this. I think it's really important to do it, but let's treat this as a show for everybody, and let's get it out there. And then the next big one we're going to do is get the podcast up and running, which means that you'll be able to listen to all these shows, on your iPhone or on your smartphone, because they'll be broadcast through iTunes and Spotify and Apple and all that, which means you can listen to them on your radio and on your phone and whatever you want. So we're just going to get that up to date as well. And that goes to 120 different countries. Last time I checked, and that was 2 years ago.
That's
We're
amazing.
broadcasting in 120 countries. Most of them, the biggest following is in the United States of America, and we can even tell which cities. Second by Canada, third Australia, fourth the United Kingdom, then South Africa, and then a lot in the Soviet, well, not the Soviet Union, I guess you would call it Russia now. Yeah, so all over the world, people are listening to the show. So I want to get the COVID-19 stuff out. So we'll do the shows in reverse and bring them up. So we do the latest show and put it up, and then keep going in backwards so that people get this information first. The temptation is to go all the way back to the last show and come forward because it makes more sense. But at this time, it's more important to get this information out to everybody worldwide. So we'll do it in reverse, and that will confuse everybody. But that's okay. We don't care.
We don't care.
We don't care. We just want the information out there.
Lewis says, loving this show, Tyson and Laura. Thank prayer hands and lots of love. And then Linda said it was YouTube. I didn't find it. It showed deleted. And Valerie says hello.
All right. Yeah, the show is not up, and yeah, we'll go straighten it out. All right. Thank you, everybody. Be safe, healthy, wise. Love your family. If you need some help with conflict resolution in the family, actually, I am certified to do that. I'd be more than willing to help you do that. So I am helping some of my clients work through what's going on in their family. And remember, at this time, you can't escape your family. You can't run away to work or go to the bar or get drunk or whatever. You have to face your family, which means you got to face your inner stuff that you haven't dealt with. And all the ones that you have X, Y's, and O's in your life, remember, we want to get that all cleaned up so that your next love affair, your next soulmate is resonating with you because you've got yourself clean and clear. So we want to help you do that as well. And if you're saying, oh, wow, this means I need to rethink about what I'm going to do as a business when we come out the other end, we can help you do that. We're going to have a mastermind that's helping people retool themselves using their empath superpowers. What are your empath superpowers, and how can we help you deliver your awesomeness to the world? So we're doing that as well. So we're part of the planetary cleanup crew, Laura and myself, on every level, in every way you can imagine. So please feel free to reach out to us. And our booking, what do you call it? Click on the booking link in the show notes. Every show has how to get hold of booking a time with Laura and Tyson to help you take you through your next best steps. So thanks for showing up in the show. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.
For quality online wellness products, courses, and services, visit our sponsors, thewellnessstore.ca and the Extraordinary Healing Arts Academy located at thewellnessacademy.ca. To stay in touch, visit us at thewellnessshow.ca. And until next time, be healthy, wealthy, and wise.